Well, Pete, we're a little excited about it. You know, you can be numb to it, but we're excited about what's going to happen with the schedule. That's why we do what we do, baby. And as we told you off the top, the defending champs will start Thursday evening in Seattle. A rematch with the Packers from that Hail Mary game, which did a lot of good for the NFL and ended replacement refs. And we'll see what happens this time around. And then it doesn't get very easy for the Seahawks. Week 3, you've got the Broncos going to Seattle. Of course, a rematch of Super Bowl 48, which was easy for Seattle. Final score 43-8. If you're talking about Seattle, you always want to know when they play the Seahawks. Week 13, they'll be in San Francisco, and Week 15, San Francisco will come to Seattle. So 2 times in a 3-week span, you're going to have those 2 teams, maybe the best rivalry in all of the NFL going at it. You take a look at this schedule here right now. Monday Night Football, as we told you, with Ryan Clark and the Redskins. They've got an early bye week, and then look at this late push here. Thursday night game at the 49ers, at the Eagles, home for the 49ers, at the Cardinals, Week 17 home for the Rams. A lot of road games right there when you look down the end of the stretch for the defending Super Bowl champs. So they're going to be getting the benefit of a lot of home games early, but they're going to be put to the test on the back end of that schedule.
Yeah, it looks pretty tough, especially when you sandwich in 2 San Francisco teams back to back. That's a tough schedule. Coupled with the
well, 1 game in between.
Yeah, right. And you got Arizona and the Rams wrapped in there. That's going to be a tough situation.
I got to tell you, I'm just looking at it now. 5 of the last 6 games, division games. 5 out of the last 6 are division games. So
that division,
that's
really tough.
That division being tough, and things being wrapped up or what you're still playing for. Clearly, the division's still open at that point. You're talking about Week 12 playing the Arizona Cardinals at home. And then look at that stretch. That's because there's no easy out in that
3
division.
of the last 4.
And then Philadelphia, and you're at Philly all the way across the country. The last 6 games of the season for the defending champs is a rough one.
And again, we're predicating all this conversation on last year's schedule, and sometimes that's misleading, and sometimes it's not.
Houston, Texas.
Well, exactly. Houston was projected to be great last year and lost 14 straight games, but they did start to them.
Hey,
so,
it started out the way
you got them early.
Expected it to.
Yeah, it never really does, but that's sort of the interesting thing here. So do we think that this is a team that has a schedule that's favorable to them to try and do something that hasn't been done in a while or not?
How many games you spot them every year, Trey?
Well, 8.
Okay.
8. I give them 8. They got 8.
Give them 8?
I give them 8 at home. I give them 8.
They're playing in the building. They're still a good football team because of their success with young players that are under contract for bargains compared to the way other players performing at their level are getting paid. Yeah, and the home field advantage and the 12th man and all that they have going on in Seattle. And I think that Russell Wilson even getting better, Percy Harvin back. I mean, there's no reason to think that Seattle can't be in a situation where even when you look at that brutal stretch, they're in a good spot, and we're talking about them winning maybe 12 games.
I think you definitely can see them winning 12 games and being a dominant football team again. But it's hard to repeat. It's hard to come back and go through that treacherous row of games again and get it done the way you did the year before. You start the game with the Thursday night game against the Packers. You start the season off with that. And then you got the Broncos in Week 3. That's going to be a huge game as well. And like you said, the last 5 of the last 6 games are in the NFC West, which is probably the toughest division. It kind of reminds me of the black and blue division, what it used to be in the AFC North. And also, you play the Chiefs at Kansas City, which is never an easy win right before that stretch. These guys are going to have to strap it up, but I think that gives them a time for a mentality to have that chip on their shoulder like last year.
But let's not cry for the Seahawks. They are the champs. When you're the champs, they got to beat you.